Hello, and welcome to the weekly home workshop, everyone. I'm Terry Taylor with the Tailored Realty team. Every Wednesday at 12:15, we spend just about 15 minutes breaking down real estate topics for buyers, sellers, and homeowners. It's simple, practical, easy to understand. If you're joining us live, thanks for spending part of your lunch break with us. If you're catching the replay, you are still in the right place. As usual, let's go ahead and jump into today's topic. Today is an interesting topic. Today, we're going to talk about selling your home and where do you start. So, selling your home can definitely be a pretty overwhelming task, or it can feel that way. So, we want to talk about where you start whenever you're going to start selling your home. And of course, Tailored Realty is here for all of your real estate needs. So, if you're looking for an agent, we'll be happy to step in and help. But as usual, we just want to spend about 15 minutes today talking about this topic. Again, thank you for joining us on your lunch break. If you join us live, feel free to throw questions in the chat, or any kind of comments. We'll try to respond to those as quickly as we can. But don't forget, even if you're looking at the replay, go ahead, put your questions in the comment section, and we'll answer any questions that we can once the recording is back out there, or once it's already aired. We'll double back and answer any questions you might have. So, selling your home. Why can it feel overwhelming? Well, really, there's a lot of questions that has to be answered. First question a homeowner is going to want to know is, hey, what's my home worth? That's a big question. What is my home worth? And guess what? A lot of times, homeowners don't know. All they know is what they paid for it or what they see the neighbor's home selling for. But what is your home truly worth? And how do you arrive at that number? Now, here's a tricky part. Your home is worth whatever somebody's willing to pay for it. But we want to get as close to the numbers as we can so we can attract as many buyers as possible. Next question is, should you make repairs first? That's also a tricky one, and that's why homes are just like fingerprints. They're all different, and again, they're all based on who's living there. So there's a lot of questions that has to be answered. But should you make repairs first? And it depends on what kind of repairs they are. Again, these are some of the questions that come around that can cause a lot of anxiety for sellers. When is the best time to sell? And yes, they do go in cycles, and there are good times versus there are better times than others to sell. Again, when you get with a real estate agent, they're going to give you those strategies. They're going to look at the numbers, and they'll tell you when homes sell. And quite frankly, it is during the warmer months, the summer months, when kids are getting out of school, they're doing their transitioning. A lot of times, homes are going to sell a lot quicker then versus the winter months. But they do sell in both times, and there's strategies for both. How long will it take to sell? Again, these are some of the overwhelming questions for many homeowners once they get into selling their home, and that's the real big question. How long will it take? Quite frankly, there is no magic number, but if you ever looking on flyers, or if you're looking at the MLS, they'll have a value called DOM, which is days on market, and it'll give you an average number of days on market. Actually, for the particular listing, it'll tell you how long it's been on the market. We can gather that information and tell you what the average numbers are as far as days on market. But the good news is things become a lot simpler when you kind of focus on these first few steps. So, selling a home is more than just putting a sign in a yard, right? It starts with a game plan. And that's what we want to go over. That's kind of what we're strategizing here. We want to know what the game plan is. So, really, one of the things before anything else, you want to understand what your home will realistically sell for in today's market. Okay. And remember, it's all about the market today, because markets shift. Markets don't normally just stay stagnant, they shift. Markets go up, down. What kind of market is it? Are there a lot of sellers out there, or are there a lot of buyers, or is it balanced? Because if there are a lot of sellers, that's going to show you one thing. If there's a lot of buyers that's flooding the market, that's going to dictate another thing. So home values get influenced by these kind of things all the time. What are some of the other things that influence your home's value? Recent sales in the neighborhood that you're in, right? So if those are some of the things that appraisers look at. The size and layout of the home is an influence, right? Open floor plans are big nowadays. People really love that open um, space and the way the rooms flow together, those kind of things. How many bedrooms are upstairs versus downstairs? So the size and the layout. Is it 1,100 square feet or 3,300 square feet? Size and layout matter. What's the condition of the property and the upgrades? So if we backtrack and talk about when you should make repairs, again, that's based on the condition. Have you recently made upgrades? Do you have like formica or granite countertops, or do you have hardwoods or LVP? Do you have carpet? A lot of these things matter and contribute to the condition of the home. And again, another thing that influences the value is the current market conditions. What are interest rates doing, right? If interest rates are high, super high, a lot of times you're not going to have quite as many buyers as when the interest rates are lower. Today's market versus the market when COVID hit, totally different. Remember, COVID was like a flash in the pan. It was something that we hadn't seen in the market in quite a long time, and I don't think it's something we'll see in the very near future. You never know. But again, those were two different markets, and there's a lot of things going on during those times. So those are the things you have to look out for. As a seller, though, you also want to be careful with these online estimates. Um, like they'll call them zestimates, whether it's Zillow or whatever the particular home site is. They might give you an estimate of what your home's value is. You have to be careful with those because they can miss some of the details, right? And those details can affect the value of your home. Zillow doesn't know if you've recently upgraded your backyard or upgraded the countertops, right? Zillow doesn't know if you've changed out all of your fixtures and your plumbing, so they don't understand that. But knowing your home's value, really, that's the foundation for every smart selling decision. Okay. Um, and what you can do, even as from a real estate perspective or a real estate agent, a real estate agent can give you like a home value report. We can use some of the statistical data that we have at our fingertips to kind of give you an idea of what homes are selling for in your area and give you a better idea. Yolanda and I are both pricing strategy advisors, which means we've gotten certified, we've got certifications to know how to look at those types of things and give you a pretty good estimate of what your home will be worth. The next step you want to do as a seller is you have to prepare your home for the market. Okay. So, how do you prepare the home so it shows well to potential buyers? Um, Contrary to popular opinion, this doesn't necessarily mean you have to make major renovations. Okay. Um, some of the biggest impacts you can make are just small things that don't cost you a whole lot of money. Number one is declutter. And guess what? We've all been there, unless you're just kind of OCD on order or military in certain instances, which is fine. Things can get out of order and out of whack from time to time. So just declutter, put things away, box things up, make sure countertops and cabinets are organized and decluttered. You can make minor repairs. So there's certain minor repairs that won't raise any red flags to buyers immediately, right? So you make the minor repairs. If you got a dripping faucet, go ahead and take care of that. If it's a washer or something that you can do so it doesn't, again, this doesn't set off red flags for the buyers. A fresh cleaning. Pay to have your house clean, right? There are cleaning services, maid services out there. They can come in, they can do a thorough cleaning of the house, make it look and smell fresh. You'll be surprised how many homes, as an agent, I've walked in and it smells atrocious. If you're a smoker or whatever, sometimes those fumes, those smells can get stuck in the furniture and in the the fabric of the home, and it can leave an offensive smell, even if you're a pet owner. Um, we become, as they call it, as we say funnily, we can become nose deaf or nose blind to smells in our home. But you want to freshen those things up and just simple curb appeal. Make sure the yard is cut, trim the hedges, edge the driveway, things like that. Remember, those buyers respond to the look and the feel of a clean home, a home that's well maintained and move in ready. If a buyer thinks they're going to have to do a whole bunch to get into this house, it could detract them from making an offer on your home. So think about it. Just those little things that we just mentioned, um, they're not very expensive. Uh, they can be done relatively quickly. And it makes the buyers feel like they're at home when they come into your house. And that's the thing you're going for. That's the look and feel you want. So make those minor adjustments, and your home will be ready for the market. So just a few quick takeaways. Remember, I know this is your lunch break, so we're not going to be here long. Selling your home becomes easier when you focus on the right starting points, okay? Remember, we just went over it. Number one, understand what market you're in. Are you in a buyer's market, a seller's market, or a pretty balanced market? Your real estate agent should be able to tell you that. Prepare the home to show well. You want that house to be, you want it to look good, smell good, feel good when somebody walks in. And then you have to develop the right pricing strategy, because if your strategy's off on pricing, your home could sit on the market. And quite frankly, you could set other homes up to be sold quicker than yours if you don't price it correct. But when those things are right, when those things are in place, the rest of the process becomes that much more smoother, okay, and that much easier to deal with. The last few minutes, I'm going to wrap up. If you work with Tailored Realty, there are a few things that we provide to our sellers. We do have a seller's box that we have, and in here we got a lot of our marketing material. On the front, we actually have a QR code. You can scan that, and it will give you a breakdown of how we market your home, the strategies that we use. It is a little bit long, but it does tell you exactly what we do to get your home sold. There's also a QR code at the edge of the box where you can find out what Yolanda and I's philosophy is, how we do business, why we do what we do. Inside the actual box, there's some strategies at the top of the box, 5 strategies for pricing and selling your home the right way. In the bottom of the box, some client testimonials. You can scan a QR code there so you can go and see what people are saying about Tailored Realty and how we help you get your home sold. On the back of the box, it just kind of shows, hey, if you're working with Tailored Realty does have a moving truck for our clients, and just helps you to one less thing for you to worry about when you are making your move. Because remember, one of our slogans is "Don't make a move without us." So we have a moving truck to help you make that move. Inside the box, we do have some marketing stuff. We'll give you a pen, a fridge magnet, but more importantly, we also give you a book we co-authored. It's called Selling Made Simple. And it's a little quick read, but it's some stuff that you can use to really help you get ready to sell your home. This is a invaluable book, something that will definitely be beneficial to you whenever you're ready to sell. We also have a index card that we put in here that shows your market report. Remember, we talked about understanding the market and what the market is doing. If you scan this QR code, it'll give you the instructions. But on the back, we got QR codes that correspond to the different areas, Northeast, Southeast, different areas of the Metro Columbia area, Lexington. You scan that and you can see what the market is doing in your area, because again, that's important when pricing your home. And then finally, we also have a seller's guide, very much like the book itself, but it's a little more visual. And it just tells you some things you can do to get ready to sell your home. Again, you don't go in unaware, you go in prepared. And honestly, that's the best way to make informed decisions, is through preparation, knowing the right steps to make, knowing the right moves to make so you can get your home sold for the most amount of money in the least amount of time. This was helpful. Don't keep it to yourself. Share it with someone who can use it. Remember, whether you're buying, selling, or just planning ahead, once you're a client, you're always a friend. We'll see you next Wednesday at 12:15 for the weekly home workshop. I've been your host for today, Terry Taylor. It's been a pleasure talking with you. Enjoy the rest of your lunch break, and we will see you next week. Take care.